Hello everyone, Robert Rambles here, and welcome back to World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic and our Blood Elf Mage playthrough. Thank you guys for clicking on the video and choosing to join me here today. I do appreciate it, and I hope you're doing well. We are starting things off by heading over to the next Battle of Hillsbrad. We don't really have a lot else we can work on at the moment. What is this? Elixir of Pain we're missing.
What is it?
Oh, this is the one where we feed it to the dog.
Remember.
What a bummer. What a freaking bummer. That's right, I have to remind myself, I always find Terran Mill to be a huge bummer. I like Hillsbrad, like the zone itself and the aesthetic. But the types of questing that you do for the Horde in this zone are kind of a bummer. We are in the queue. I've been in the queue all morning long before I started recording, and no bites on Shadowfang Keep. There have been tanks, there have been DPS, there have not been any healers, and I've been starting to see this across all forms of Wrath of the Lich King. I don't know how it is in other modes of the game, because we haven't done a lot of dungeons in vanilla era yet. But yeah, in Wrath at endgame looking for 5-mans, and while leveling looking for 5-mans, nobody is healing. And I kinda totally get it. Because healing is not a very rewarding job in this game. It's not particularly exciting. It's definitely undervalued. And you don't ever really want to level up as the spec that heals. So, you know, if you're... A couple of classes can probably do it. Like, low level you can do it fine, but I feel like people worry about taking gruff from those who would prefer they be the spec that they queued up as. And I think that worry keeps a lot of people from healing as their DPS spec when they could do that fine while leveling. Especially in Wrath, you can do that fine when you're leveling. Just throw a couple heals. And then the group's gonna probably steamroll everything. Especially when you have people in heirloom gear. But yeah, nobody's healing, nobody wants to do it. It might be just a greater issue of like nobody really wants to run the dungeons, and maybe nobody really wants to do the content. It could be that. It could have nothing to do with the role, except that the total number of people is reduced, and therefore, you know, a role that is already a small percentage of players is further reduced by just the fact that nobody's running 5-man dungeons. I would totally believe that. At max level, there's always lots of people in the queue. At max level, I think there might be a healer problem, because at max level on populated servers, we've seen there's lots and lots of people in the queue, lots of tanks and lots of DPS. So the problem is either that A, you know, there are no healers, B, people really don't want to put groups together manually for 5-mans, and they would prefer looking for dungeon tool do it for them. Or C, I don't know, people just don't want to invite us. It could be that. And yeah, you guys have probably noticed that I've been filtering through a lot of different characters, really trying to get an idea of what, if anything, I want to do in Wrath of the Lich King. And I am still undecided, and here we are. We don't have Frost Shield up or anything. That could be why we're not slowing them when they hit us. We were able to just scramble away, pathetically. But yeah, I don't know. A part of me is kind of worried that the interest in the community just isn't really there. When I see like a complete lack of news or hype for Wrath of the Lich King, I just wonder, you know, how long before they push forward with Cataclysm. Let's check the barn here for Farmer Ray. He's not here today. We had this problem on the priest as well, where we just couldn't get Farmer Ray to spawn there in either of his spots. I could be a really smart mage and just polymorph one of these guys. Yeah, all that lack of zone hopping was kind of perpetrated on the idea that we would do some dungeons, and since we didn't zone hop to get that early experience, and we aren't doing any dungeons now, We're getting behind the leveling curve, is basically what I'm saying. We're getting behind the leveling curve, and it's not going to be well for us if that continues to happen. I guess, like, honestly, for me, what it's coming down to is this. Recently, I realized that I really would like to do some organized raiding. I'd really like to have 2 days a week where I can get on with a group of people who I'm at least loosely familiar with from Discord or somewhere else, and I'd like to do some raiding. It's just that I really don't know where I want to do that at. Because when I think about it, I'm not going to raid in Classic and in Retail. I'm not going to do both. Because that would be 4 days a week, and I don't want to raid 4 days a week. And I think honestly for Retail, if I was going to do endgame stuff in Retail, I'd probably try to focus on Mythic 5-mens. Because I really love 5-mens, and I haven't gotten to do any Retail 5-mens like that in a long time. And then I would probably do I'd probably do normals or looking for raid to get the story out of the raids, because that's my primary interest in the raids, is that they usually are what concludes or continues the story from the campaign, and if you don't do them at all, you don't get to see said story. And since you're not required to do them for like any kind of completion, really, like, I wonder how many people just never conclude the story by never stepping foot inside the raids. We are doing so great over here, aren't we? We are just doing awesome with our aware. Yeah, we're gonna kill that guy and then we're just gonna run. We could probably sheep one and kill the other, but we're gonna run out of mana doing that, so I am fine with just getting us out of here. Yeah, the only thing I know for certain right now that's gonna be a constant on the channel is that we're gonna be doing a hardcore run always. We're always gonna have a hardcore run going. And then the Immersive Warrior, we're always going to have an immersive vanilla era playthrough going. And we're sticking with those, you know, until the Druid dies. And the Warrior, you know, once the Warrior gets to max level, I'd like to step into some raids. I feel like in that community, it'll be easy for us to raid. Just casually. But yeah, those are the playthroughs that are staying. Everything else, guys, don't get too attached to anybody or anything, because I am in a state where I'm just really trying to figure out how I want to use my time and what I'm going to enjoy most and if and where I want to raid. This happens to me every once in a while. But it's like, in one way it's fine because there are things that will always be consistent, and sometimes you just need to take the time to figure out what you really want to do. And it might be that I decide I don't want to do any of that. It might be that I decide I don't want to play Retail, I don't want to raid in Wrath. And in that case, we'll do something else. You guys might enjoy some open world immersive RPG goodness that we'll be checking out on the channel soon. And yeah, I think for me it might just be a matter of just finding more places to get the kind of enjoyment that I want out of video games. And for me, it's really about just the open world, about being able to get immersed in it, feel it. And usually, you know, you find that kind of thing in MMORPGs. However, these days you don't really get any new MMOs that are worth trying out. You know, the last one we tried out was New World, and New World was fun. I enjoyed parts of New World a lot. Ultimately, it was missing something. I don't know what it was missing, but there wasn't enough there for me to want to keep pushing forward with it. And yeah, you know, there's all these MMOs that are coming out in the future, and I put those in quotation marks because what it means is that these are games that have been worked on for anywhere from 5 to 8 years, and may or may never come out. When you've been making a game for 8 years, and you are in your, like, Alpha 2 testing, I'm really questioning whether or not that game's ever going to come out. I think referencing Pantheon with that particular comment. A game that I'm pretty sure Carnage like almost exclusively backs now. And it looks like it could be cool for people who want to play, who want to re-experience EverQuest 2 or EverQuest 1, because EverQuest, it looks just like EverQuest. The interface, the UI, the text windows, the characters, the environment. It looks just like EverQuest. It didn't always. I remember seeing earlier builds of it that I felt were not as EverQuest-esque, but the build I saw last was as indecipherable and archaic as EverQuest. And I don't really know if that's what a lot of MMO players want. I think there's definitely a large group of people who want that, who play on the EverQuest Fresh Start realms when they're up and stuff like that. But I don't think that's what a lot of people want. I don't think that a game like that's going to pull people from a classic World of Warcraft or anything, or even interest those people, so I am not really looking forward to Pantheon. Ashes of Creation is the other one, and that one has also been baking for a very, very, very long time, has gone through many, many phases. I think they also changed engines a couple of times. They're on Unreal 5 now, I think. And that worries me too. You know, you've been in development for 6 or 7 years or whatever. You've changed engines 3 times, which essentially means you probably have to rebuild your game from the ground up each time. It's like, sure, will these games ever come out? Maybe, maybe not. And then when they do come out, are they even going to be any good? It's still a crapshoot. Even if they get them made, get them published, the thought of them also just being really, really good. What are the odds, right? Here's Farmer Ray. It's a good time to level up. Oh, I did not realize that Stanley would become enraged and then we would also have to kill him. I don't do this quest a lot because, you know, I don't like simulating the poisoning of animals. It's weird. I'm weird like that. So I don't get any enjoyment out of it. I don't know what's wrong with me. We pulled somebody to our side here, yeah. We don't have to kill him, I don't think, in order to complete the quest, so I'm pretty sure we're just gonna get out of here. While we still can. I could pop Mana Shield here to give us a hand with staying alive. Oh, did I not get Ray, though? For some reason, I thought I thought he went down. Maybe he leashed. Well, that's unfortunate. We're also, like, not dropping these guys, I realize. Great. Cool, cool, cool. We did get Ray. There's a questy problem here, and the problem is called questy. For some reason, I have more troubles with my add-ons in Wrath of the Lich King era than I do in Vanilla. In Vanilla, I feel like I hardly ever have issues. In Wrath, I feel like I have issues with questy non-stop. To the point where we've turned it off. Like, I've stopped using it. And gone back to it, just because it gets really frustrating to deal with some of the little issues that it has. And Farmer Getz. Farmer Getz, is he the one that is supposed to be in this house or in the barn? Yeah, he's supposed to be in the house over here or in the barn, and we haven't seen him in either spot yet. Alright, so he's not in here. He's not in here. Let's see. And he could also be in the barn, and we haven't seen him in the barn either. Is this going to be one of those times when he's just not spawning into the world? So we encountered this on our Blood Elf Priest also. How, man, my Frost Nova hit him all the way over there? That seems like a stretch. It must have been just at that last yard. And yeah, see, he's not here either. It's It's happening again, guys. It's the curse a farmer gets. I don't think anybody is supposed to spawn in the house, but I'm gonna go find out. We have to get out of there because Stanley will not mind aggroing us. Yep, nobody up here either. What else can we do? We can go after Farmer Kalaba. If we want to. Yeah, everything else is done. We're done with everything else for the farmhands and the farmers. We just need gets. And he won't spawn in either of his spawn points. How lovely. Doesn't look like she is up either. There she is. We just have to fight through a bunch of guys to get to her. Starting with this peasant. And the other thing I thought about, I thought about maybe shelling out the $25 to Blizzard to move the Paladin from Maladath over to Pagel. Thought about that. You know, if I thought there was really any desire in Wrath for Paladin DPS, then I would consider it. I would definitely consider it, because I don't really want to heal or tank on the class. It's 2 missed fireballs in a row, that makes you feel just really good. Can I use this small piece of fence against them? Not really effectively. But yeah, I got them both frozen, which is something, right? It's something. Oh, he'll be back. Yeah, he can't go anywhere. You know, it's not like he can ever get away. We still might die. You know, that's... It looks like that might happen unless we run. I'd love to kill this guy. Let's see if the cat allows for it. Okay, we were able to kill him. Let's just try to get away. At this point, we probably won't, but we can give it a shot. Okay. Alright. Okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. We are going to go back one time, and we are going to look for Farmer Getz. Maybe we'll try to get Kalaba, depending on how many guys that we actually cleared that actually haven't respawned yet, which they might have all respawned by the time we get back. And that's going to be it for us, I think, for today. If we can't get them, then we don't really have anything else we can do over here right now. If we can get them, I have a feeling that the next quest is going to be outside of our level range. So, I'm thinking we're going to have to take this character into Ashenvale for a bit. That is kind of my current thought process, that the only way we really continue is if we have to zone hop over to Kalimdor. And we have some stuff we can do. That's some of it's at level with us. We can go out to the Zoram Strand. We have a level 19 quest over there and a bunch of dungeon quests for the dungeon that we will hopefully get to do at some point. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let's come back over here, we'll give another check, and we'll try to get some of this done. But at this point, I'm feeling like this character would really need to go to a different zone for a bit to get a couple of levels. Oops, I don't know what I pressed. I pressed blink. Not exactly what I wanted. For some reason the other day when I reinstalled NVIDIA Shadowplay, it like completely stopped my ability to take screenshots from within the software itself without going into photo mode. It used to be I had a keybind that I could press that would just snap a screenshot. It was really convenient, let me grab some pretty good thumbnails, I thought. That just stopped working randomly. I've changed my keybind, I've reinstalled, and it doesn't work anymore. Weirdest freaking thing. So now I have to enter photo mode, which readjusts the camera outside of my control, which makes it really hard to get any good screenshots in the game as I play. Just a random thing for me to complain about right now. As if you need any more of that. Let's check the house. Oh, hi there. How are you? And we killed the cow. That's like 7 years bad luck. Hey, there he is. Look at that. Super exciting. Of course he's got another guy with him. And with that, we're leaving. Definitely could have just hearthed back. Didn't realize we were set here. What do we have? We have another quest from our buddy here, Elixir of Agony. Probably wants us to go kill some kittens this time.
Speak quickly.
6 Mudsnout Blossoms.
Trust no one.
I haven't got all day. Beware the living.
And the next one is the Peasants. Okay, well we could probably still do that, but I do think it's a good idea to get us to a different zone somewhere over in Kalimdor. I'm gonna put us on a flight for the Undercity. We need the train level 24 stuff, and then I'll take us to the Zeppelin. And I'll try to get us situated for wherever we are gonna quest next on the Mage. That being said, guys, as I talked about, really trying to cycle through some characters right now and find out what I want to do in Wrath of the Lich King, if anything. Thoughts on the table right now are, leveling this character up obviously would be great. Bringing the Paladin over from Maladath to Peggle and working on the Paladin at endgame would be great. Lots of different things we can do. Love to hear from you guys. Also understand that ultimately at the end of the day, I'm going to choose to do or not do whatever I feel is best for me. And while I do like some of the characters, I try to think about like the long-term future of if I'm going to spend hundreds of hours on them. I have to consider the hundreds of hours of the future, whether or not I'm going to be into the character for that whole length of time. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, take care of yourselves out there and take care of each other. And we will see you back here again very soon. Bye for now.